bolt does a ton of damage. You see it snipe people all the time, but it's very tricky to land onto a champion as mobile as Jace, as well as EDG. Oh, he hits it!
Hits the accelerate shock blast into the snowball, and this time it's final. ZDZ with one of the clear 1v1s we've seen in the split.
Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights of today's LPL 2025 Split 1.
Viable into the phase of the game where we think Thunder Talk is most prevalent. Here, the lanes are a pretty neutral sets, but instead is looking to move up here and contest. We might have a first fight coming near these grubs, especially if this Braum passive stacks. Wink gonna land one auto short. Both junglers are present, looking for a fight. Vault Breaker being channeled here. Beishuan gonna go right in onto Xiaohao, gets the brittle stack stun. But both of these teams are just proxying each other, daring the other one to overstep here. And now it's finally Thunder Talk. Feel the advantage prevalent with Setab here. That was a heal used by Wink just to protect Xiaohao, and it's Thunder Talk that will grab control of the top river.
Yeah, they've got all 5 members around. EDG, though, they can collapse 5, and their champions are not the weakest during the early game. It just depends on if you want to step up here.
Oh, good charm from Setab's going to get the cleanse out of Assume, but he has to use his Spirit Rush to jump on out of here. And now all of EDG are here. Thunder Talk are trapped in the pit. There's a great Hoya ultimate on the Poppy to send one out, but it costs him all of his mana and nearly all of his health bar, as it's Setab having to flash away from one of the little mites. And first blood goes over to Assume off a great pick from ZDZ. Nobody gets a Monster Slayer stack, and it's Edward Snowball that early power. Hawkshot is going to spot Xiaohao on this dragon, but they don't have lane prio in mid or bottom currently. Waves crashing into those turrets, so there can't really be a contest from Thunder Talk besides Feather watching the first Infernal Drake pass away. And EDG are now a bit close. Cost assume too much, but that key summoner, like you called out there, blocks her. Feather and Base looking for a fight, though. They get a great stun chain, and Wink is just gone in an instant. Good stun stack with the cease and desist. Beishuan's able to get out with a kill traded. We're even in that count now between our two squads. That legendary item done as the next set of Void Grubs spawn, and Beishuan's looking for virtually the same sort of fight. Forces the Trickster out of Xiaohao, and this is feeling like deja vu here because Thunder Talk, they're starting the Grubs again, and they're on the ward once more. And they're going to get collapsed again. There's a Weaver's Wall available. Xiaohao does have the Cyclone. Cease and Desist is still a couple seconds away. This is a real big gamble from Thunder Talk, and they are nowhere near done with these Grubs just yet. The second one's soon to fall. Here's the Weaver's Wall down, coming across for Angel. Going to trap some in. 1xN on the wrong side of the wall, but it felt a bit early as it does dissipate. Flash still has the arrow land. Flash Glacial Fissure's going to follow. They're trying to go hard in the paint for Angel, but they're not going to get there. Cease and Desist flies through his face one. He's got Xiaohao in his sights, and he's going to find the first kill to set up the rest of the squad. In goes the all-out from ZDZ, trying to find these trade kills, but he can't get to Feather, and he doesn't have the same resistances. That Casante's not tanky enough, and Thunder Talk instead. EDG are going to teleport Angel up here top lane to dive a Poppy. Not the easiest champion to dive. Let's see how this one executes. As ZDZ is going to grab the turret aggro. Hoya gets stunned up by the Slipping Stone. Cyclone not going to find the knock-up first. The second bout will
enough that you're able to then pick yourself up. That first tower doesn't end up happening. You lose the Drake as well. That final Void Grub does go over to EDG. And it is going to be 2 to 4 in terms of Grubs. A Drake
alone. Wanted to maybe go for that old play, but the rest of EDG all show up across the line. 5 stacking this top river. They want this Rift Herald in their sights. The Thunder Talk are trying to pull them apart here. Hoya teleporting in. Stun gonna land on the ZDZ. He's not too tanky just yet. He's getting his health bar chunked, but he uses the all-out to pull Beishuan under his tier 1 turret, and now the fight has commenced. Feather gonna fall first. Setab trying to go into the backline, but Angel and Assume stay safe, and they trade out Hoya, and ZDZ will not fall. Even a flash forward from 1xN will not grant him the gray screen. What a hero play from Edward Gaming's top laner. They grabbed 3-4 kills.
Under your tower right there just completely breaks the teamfight lines that Thunder Talk were trying to draw for themselves. They need these clear front to back so that they can launch themselves in when they think the time is right. Fizzle out just a little bit. Straight on over to the Drake though, and this would be EDG managing to complete those feats of strength.
Setab committed to getting that top lane tier 1 first. Can't teleport in. 1xN thrown on the wrong side of the Weaver's Wall. He's got all of EDG in front of him, and they're going to pile on the CC. 2 Cyclone knockups is enough to get 1xN, and now the ball, all holds are off, and EDG are flying forward with grace. What a Weaver's Wall from Angel. Another setup for Edward Gaming that results in a victorious fight.
Gorgeous, gorgeous fight right there. You pick up a tier 1 mid lane and this dragon to boot. Brilliant, brilliant fighting right there out of EDG. And that was the Weaver's Wall that we were hoping for. That initial play that we saw up around those grubs wasn't the best use of the Weaver's Wall, but this is exactly what we needed. Setab also going to get jumped right here. Does still have the ulti to be able to survive, but having to use that once again defensively hasn't felt like Setab's really been able to use that. Thundertalk have put themselves... Hang on.
Great clone. No Ash Arrow comes through. Beishuan hits the Trickster.
Collapse?
Wake's going to go back in. Does use the quickness into a beautiful seismic shove. Another awesome chain of abilities between Edward Gaming. Going to force Beishuan out. Teleport coming through here for Hoya. He's coming into all of EDG here. They're going to see if they can stun him up. Hoya's going to use Steadfast Presence to dash away. Beishuan goes back in, but his health bar is far too low. Keeper's Verse going to knock one out, but Hoya flies into the mincemeat that is Edward Gaming. They just turn it right on its head. Setab can't find an angle in it until he's lost all of his teammates. And look at ZDZ run the backline by himself. What has gone into Edward Gaming? Ace at 21 minutes in game 1.
Thundertalk right now. They've got themselves a push going through the mid lane and the top. The lane is not anywhere to be seen, but still, they can just step up, and it doesn't matter. You've got that free, quicker recall, if anything. If you do end up getting taken down, 5 members strong right now up towards the top side of the map.
Whoa,
nice
and
engage.
in goes Xiaohao, feeling so confident, running in, Wink behind him. He's going to get big grand entrance knockup, but they have to be careful. They're going under Nexus turrets. 1xN able to turn and start free firing with that lethal tempo, but his tanks are dropping to the rest of the might of EDG. You called it, Bloxer. Edward Gaming are using Voracious Otacon to take not just an entrance to the base, but an inhibitor, and maybe even more here as they're really sticking around. They don't have the wave for the Nexus turrets, and Voracious Otacon might not last much longer. EDG trying to escape to get a safe reset, but Beishuan is on the hunt. Spotted out on a ward, though, by Assume, who will force him back. And that should be...
is in a much stronger spot, and with a champion that finds it a lot easier to teamfight. EDG, they draft themselves a comp that worked well into what Thundertalk usually like to do for themselves, and it so far has been working out to great effect.
And now they can just take the free buffs they can get across the rift here. Second Mountain Drake, sure. What can Thundertalk really do to contest? Baron spawning? Sure, why not? We get vision set up and start. See Beishuan going for it, but the pings allude to the fact that he has once again been spotted out. Ooh. Has himself a 1v1 with Wink, but 1xN is getting dove by Angel and Xiaohao, able to flash away from the Wukong. Really expert kiting here from 1xN to try and turn this for Thundertalk, but all they end up getting is a couple key ultimates out of the much stronger Edward Gaming.
And they're now going to have to just head back, try to get a little bit more health back. And like you said, with those super minions pouring in through the top side, they're going to have to be very careful. It's going to be the Baron started up right here for EDG. Now, they've thrown games in this position before.
Yeah, and they don't have any ultimates to really fight, and Beishuan knows it. Angel going to flash away with the Seraph Shield, should be safe for now. Setab gets a big charm onto Assume, who has to use his cleanse, but he's still safe. The damage isn't enough there for Thundertalk just yet until Setab dashes mid-stasis to find the pick onto Assume, kites himself back out expertly, and here comes the lightning after the thunder. 1xN free firing on his ass, knocks down Xiaohao. Next is ZDZ. He sure is tanky, but can he 1v5? The health bars are low, but not low enough. Thundertalk find an inch, make it a mile. 4 kills and a turn to Baron to break open game 1.
They are gonna lose themselves a Nexus turret for this potentially, though. And low health bars on taking this Baron. Still, though, we called it. EDG, they find these team fights so tricky to do. And once again, a get out of a zoom. Xiaohao on this game.
It's gonna once again, though, nerf that damage profile, as 1xN really needs that Infinity Edge, as we have a Chains of Corruption Cyclone Mastery, throws both Beishuan and Feather up in the air under an enemy turret. There's nothing they could do but fall to the gray screen. Setab, 1xN, and Hoya now have to run for the hills and make sure they get themselves out, because it could cost them the game.
Rakan and a Wukong, you compare that engage so nicely. You've also got that Varus ulti as well, of course, to be able to kick things off much at the moment, but that is going to be a big buff for EDG.
Beishuan, very aggressive Hull Breaker. Assumes damage is so high. Same-Time going to commit the flash here.
no.
They find Angel in the thickets, and
Hoya
Hoya's on a massive flank here. Has the Keeper's Verdict if he could use it to give them even more of a man advantage, but Hoya's health bar is fastly depleting. Has to flash himself out, and Same-Time gets
Wig.
caught by Wink. An awesome charm. Taste your own medicine for the Ahri. Beishwan goes in with the cease and desist, though. It's on to Assume. Once again, Thunder and Talk are finding the picks onto the damage dealers, but they're losing their own as Zhao
so
Hao
low.
flies in the background with the Cyclone. His health, his sustain is far too much to bear. And where's the damage through for Thunder Talk? It's Beishwan and Hoya. Time and time again, Thunder Talk fight their way out of misery for an ace once more.
Of Wink to go jumping in, you just die. Exactly the same thing for Bechuan, and despite all of this initial setup, you can spot it out so easily with those hawk shots. Thunder Talk, what can they do?
Arrow gonna land on his ZDZ, buffers it perfectly with the W. Believe he actually got saved by Wink there, so no stun comes across. One key ultimate is down. Zhao Hao, not the healthiest, but looking for a way in here. He's gonna go on to Beishwan. Does have to quit the flash, but gets knocked up by the Cyclone. The Weaver's Wall keeps him in turret range. Beishwan is sectioned off from his team and cut down. EDG now with no jungler on the enemy team should have a free shot at Baron. There's nothing Thunder Talk can do.
No, it's just a mistake right here. You could see fully charged up Vault Breaker on Bechuan. Could have stepped away, could have tried to get over that wall, but just decided to stick around for a little bit longer, wanted to go in, wanted to get that fight off with the rest of the team, but unfortunately isn't able to do so in EDG.
3v4, now going to be a
don't
5v3. Same-Time is committed to this flank. His old Greybeard Elder spawns onto the Rift. Beishwan is back up, making his way back down, but EDG have taken complete control of this bottom river, and Sitab is still so committed. When will he step out? Steps out at just the inopportune time. Zhao Hao has the flank spotted, and that means they have the green light to go back in on the front side of the fight. Hoya has to burn that flash. Thunder Talk now have control of the Elder, trying to burn it down. What a timed blast code from Same-Time, gets away from Zhao Hao. In goes Beishwan, they're going out for Assume, but there's no damage behind him. ZDZ trying to hold Thunder Talk at the front line. Beishwan gonna go down, flashing forward is Angel. Next is Hoya. EDG found the fight they needed. Front to back is the way to go, and that should bring them to not only kills, not only aces, but a Game 1 win to find their first win of the LPL split.
EDG, massive performance right here, exactly when it counted, back and forth game, but they're going to pick themselves up that clean ace, and ZDZ, he shows up in a massive way for the team, both in that 1v1 on the Jace and now on this Cassante, completely unkillable. Every bit of damage that Thunder Talk had during that fight was poured into that Cassante. He didn't care, more than happy to absorb all of that as the carries die on the backline. EDG, oh, it looked like it was going to be a bit risky, but this game has restored so much faith in the way that this team plays.
What is going on with this Nexus turret? Okay, all right, so I didn't see a health bar. They weren't able to hit the Nexus, but they got there. And there it is, like you called out, Bloxer. What a response from Edward Gaming after the